Manchester United went strong and fast on the market and completed the transfer of Matheus Cunha from Wolverhampton Wanderers for £62 million in the first week of the Club World Cup window transfer, but since then they have gone a bit slow. They are linked with Bryan Mbeumo. I think currently they haven't reached a clear fair valuation for both Brentford and Manchester United, but apparently the player is giving priority to Manchester United. There is interest from Tottenham Hotspur, where his former manager Thomas Frank went after the sacking of Ange Postecoglou, but Bryan Mbeumo will be keen to going to Old Trafford. Of course, Manchester United are out of the Champions League, but some players are still respecting the legacy of the club and joining them. Of course, I don't think it will be any later before Manchester United is back to Europe, because they are going to be having a season that's a bit quiet, where they can concentrate on a certain competition, and that's the league. They can even accept early exits in the domestic cups, and this will allow them enough recharge time to compete in the Premier League. Also, they were blown a blow when Viktor GYOKORES, who was one of their priority target for that striker role, when he announced that he's giving Arsenal the priority. And I think Manchester United shouldn't simp either, because they have lived without him before, and they should also work to help the players that are already there, but they need a striker, honestly speaking. Oiland and Zexe were not enough. If you have strikers that can't give you more than 7 goals, then you're in big trouble. Big trouble. And Manchester United need to sort that out. They have sent inquiries for Hugo ekitike, and that's a positive sign. Of course, when Chelsea inquired about the striker for Frankfurt, the reply from the German-based club was that his valuation is 100 million euros. Chelsea said, no, we are not paying that. What will happen with Manchester United? Will they pay? Maybe yes, maybe no. But we know they are interested in him. Other options are available on the market, but I think Manchester United needs to go for the very best. Victor Osimhen is also available, but you very well know he will be asking for important wages. He's already linked with moves to Al Hilal. Galatasaray wants to keep him. We will wait and see what happens with Manchester United. We know they have had lots of departures. John Evans left, and he is considered for a managerial role. Spent 2 spells at the club, the first one being longer before going to Leicester City, and then he returned and spent 2 years. So that was a good contribution from Evans, and I think he's worth that kind of appreciation by giving him another role off the pitch. Also, Christian Eriksen left, and so was Victor Lindelof. Yeah, Victor Lindelof also left. Manchester United also needs to sort out their goalkeeping issues. On so many occasions last season, onana cost them. So they need to do better, but also their defense wasn't the best at all. They conceded 54 goals compared to the 44 they scored, and actually got only 42 points. One of the worst seasons in the history of Manchester United, I think, since the late 80s, before some of us were even born. So Manchester United needs to step up and do good businesses. Last season, I thought their transfers were spot on, because they signed Lenny Yolo, who has been fairly decent. Matheus, he has also not been bad. Mazalawi, I think he was the best signing for them last season. He did fairly well. Halfway the season, before they finished 15th, I think he was even chosen in the Premier League first half season play team of the half season, and he was really brilliant. And they also signed, I think, they signed the Zekze and who joined from PSG and Ugarte. So their signings last season looked spot on, but their season went bizarrely, and I think they need to do better this season. And it shows that they are not doing that well. If you look at teams like Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester City, who they are going to compete with, I'm leaving Arsenal out. They have gone and got their transfers a bit early. Chelsea went for Dilap. We knew they needed a striker. They went for Hugo. They needed a backup for Caicedo. They recalled Andre Santos to deepen their depth in the midfield, maybe if Romeo Lavia is injured, and also signed I think that's who they signed. And then for Manchester City, we know they signed Chucky, they signed Rinders, and also who else Manchester City signed? So they signed 3 players in the really crucial positions. They also made transfers in the January, Kusanov, Rico, and who else joined in the January? I'm forgetting. But Manchester City are really rebuilding their team despite that awful season. But it wasn't as so if you compare it to what Manchester United this season looked like. So United also needs to go strong on the market. Liverpool have gone and broke the record, paying £116 million for Vitsi. Frimpong is joining, and also Cax. They are linked with the Isaac and the Mapgue. All these are really transfers in the relevant positions. So Manchester United should learn from them and go strong and fast on the market to avoid any issues going forward and being overcharged if you delay. So thank you for watching. See you.